Hey guys, I am here at GenCon 2016 at the Stronghold Games area. I'm here with Andrew. He's demoing me Terraforming Mars. It's a really highly anticipated game. And Andrew, take it away. Tell me about this game. What is it about it that is so interesting?
So sure, we are all corporations trying to terraform Mars. So our object in this game is to make Mars livable. So we have three global parameters here. The temperature up to +8 degrees Celsius, 14% oxygen, and 9 oceans on Mars.
Okay.
So that is the object of this game, is to make Mars livable.
Make Mars livable.
The winner of the game is the person with the most victory points once those conditions are met.
Okay. Now, what are we going to do during a turn, basically, to make that happen, to collect those points?
Right, so to start, your player board's already set up, but you have a corporation in front of you. This is a beginner game, so our corporations are all the same.
Okay.
So we all started with 42 money.
Okay.
So gold is 10, silver is 5, bronze is 1. And we start with 10 cards, which are in front of you for free.
Excellent. Okay, right here. Beautiful.
So now we do what's called a generation. A generation consists of you doing up to 1 or 2 actions a turn, and it goes on until everyone passes.
Okay.
So every generation could be multiple turns.
Okay. And so we're going to be doing things, and as we're doing things, eventually players will find that they've done enough, and they'll pass, and then once all players pass, we will end that, especially phase, right?
Yeah, generation, yes.
Okay, that generation. And then what happens?
And then we're going to have a production phase. So on your board here, you have your money, which you started with, and you have what's called your TR, or terraforming rating, on this track.
Okay, so this is our track that we're moving around here.
Yes. So for example, if we ended the generation now, we're at 20 plus whatever is on your board here. So we start with 1, so we would get 22 income, or 22 money, at the end of the generation.
Okay.
Then what would happen is we'd produce. So we'd go down the line. I have 1, so I get 1 of this resource. Steel, 1 titanium. I'd have 1 plant.
I see.
Energy converts to heat first. Then I would produce 1 energy and 1 heat.
Okay.
Then the next generation would begin. You would draw 4 cards, and now you would have to pay 3 money for each of those cards that you keep.
Okay, so you get to see 4, and then you can keep all 4, but you have to pay 12 money, basically.
Right. So you can keep 0 up to 4 cards.
All right, so I can ditch them all and not pay you anything.
Right.
Or I can keep 1 for 4, 2 for 8, that kind of a thing.
Right.
And these cards, tell me what role these cards play in the game.
So in front of me here, I'll put them on the board so you can see them. I have 3 different types of cards. So I have green, which is basically your basic card. So in the upper left is your cost and a parameter sometimes. So on this card, max 9% oxygen. So that means I can only play this card up until I get to 9% oxygen. So if I'm at 10% oxygen, I can't play that card.
Makes a lot of sense.
So I play this card, I pay the cost and meet the parameter and do the effect.
Nice.
Then, as I'm going along, I'm collecting multiple cards, and I get what are called science tags. These are these little symbols in the upper right-hand corner, because some cards require science tags. I have an example here. This one requires 2 science tags to play it.
Okay. And what is the science tag here? Is that this little brown symbol?
These are these symbols in the upper right-hand corner, yes.
Okay. And so you're trying to collect those as well to power future cards so that you can play those out whenever you see them.
Yes. Your next card type is this blue, or action card. So this has a cost. You play it for 1 action, and for another action, you take your cube and put it on there, do that action, and you can only do it once a generation.
Okay.
So these are very powerful actions usually, so you can only do them once each generation.
Wow.
Lastly, you have your event cards. These are cards that you do once and they're done. So you pay the cost, you do the action, this card flips over and is done.
Okay. One-time use.
Yes.
Excellent. Wow. So this, Andrew, this feels like a very complex. I mean, we are like terraforming Mars. I mean, we're making real corporate decisions. How long is this game going to take?
That is an interesting question because it is variable. full games I've run with 4 players tend to be around an hour and a half to 2 hours.
Okay, that's reasonable.
So, but again, you can play it solo, and that'll obviously be longer. You're going to start farther on the track and obviously get some advantages. But
Interesting. So it's actually set up where you can play it solitaire, where you can just bust it out and try to be the most efficient terraforming force on the planet.
Right. So it's a 1 to 5 player game.
Interesting. So cool. And so Andrew, you've been demoing this for a day and a half now.
Yes.
Tell me, what is your favorite thing about Terraforming Mars, specifically as it relates to this kind of genre of a fairly heavy, complex game?
I guess it's interesting because the mechanic in this game allows you to do 1, 2, or no actions during a turn. So I could just do 1 action and then end my turn.
Yeah.
Because I want to know what these people are doing, and then when it's my turn again, I could do 2 actions in response.
You can come back in.
You can come back in. So it's interesting in the sense that you don't have to go do everything immediately.
Yeah.
So it makes it more interesting because you can respond to what people are doing.
Wow, so cool. Well, thank you so much, Andrew. This is Terraforming Mars from Stronghold Games. We're here at GenCon 2016. We've got so much more coming, guys, so stay tuned.